I know we all handheld comrades do use real hardware for playing Vita, PSP or 3DS games. But when we wanna play PS2, Gamecube or Wii games on the go, we can either get real DIY portable hardware that is expensive as hell, or we can get emulators on Android-based handhelds that are very portable, powerful, pretty affordable, and they can play much more than PS2 or Gamecube. Hola compañero, thanks for joining me today. My name is Michael, and today we are looking at this machine. It is pretty good looking and pretty good performing retro handheld. The size is quite small, comfortability very decent. It is running Android 13, and most importantly it has 4:3 ratio screen. Last 4:3 ratio screen that I've enjoyed was its predecessor. It is very solid machine, but it is lacking power, unfortunately. Then Retroid Pocket Mini was also released, which is very solid device with a lot of power, but it is also more expensive, and it looks like it is sold out, and there is also the issue with the display. Don't have one, so can't really say how bad or how good it is, but I have this one. To be honest, I've been kinda burnt out on these retro handheld devices. Last I reviewed Retroid Pocket 4 Pro because it was very interesting to me. I refused to review 3MIUI Brick or MIUI Mini Flip plus many others, cause to me they just kinda look boring. Same chips, same designs, but released by a different company, yeah, whatever. This one, however, piqued my interest straight from the beginning. Actually, I was eagerly awaiting it since its predecessor. Now I have it, mostly thanks to MacDIY that sent it over for an honest review. Huge thanks to them. When I compare it to its predecessor in terms of design, it is exactly the same. 4-inch LCD, 4:3 ratio. New one has high resolution. D-pad has been greatly improved. Comfortability as well. New one has great ergonomics. Old one is just a flat. Now it also has proper shoulder buttons. On old version, I mean, yeah, they're not good. Old one was more thin. Joysticks were kinda put inside. This one is a bit more thicker, mostly because of the ergonomic sides, and the joysticks are quite a bit taller. From the top there is power, plus, minus, exhaust. Here pretty much same, just extra USB-C. There is also light that indicates charging. From the bottom we have stereo speakers, headphone jack, micro SD card, and here is the USB-C. From the back here is nothing, and here is intake. And from the front there is one extra Anbernic button. They have also greatly improved performance. These are the Geekbench 6 cores. Single core and multi-core, it's quite a bit higher. And GPU Geekbench is also like 4 times higher. When I compare it to Retroid Pocket 4, Geekbench 6 cores, yeah, they are even higher. GPU score as well. I'm already talking about Retroid Pocket 4 Pro because I think this is like the closest thing that you can get in terms of performance, money and size. Just this one has 16:9 ratio display and this one has 4:3. Plus the asymmetric joysticks, and that's pretty much the only difference. For emulation, you ideally wanna play games that utilize 4:3 screen ratio. PSP uses 16:9, but I wanted to try it anyway, to have it like a benchmark, how the games run. Midnight Club LA Remix upscale to 2x was run in full speed, as well as both God of Wars, Chains of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta. Then I went higher, I upscaled it to 3x of original resolution. Still, even God of War was running at stable frame rate. Gran Turismo 3x full speed, Tekken 6 full speed, Ratchet & Clank full speed. I was even trying to stretch the image to full screen, but nope, that wasn't for me. So I went back to original non-stretched with black bars at the top and bottom. I mean, it wasn't as big deal for me to have it in there, as long as the games were playing good. And yes, they were playing absolutely great. Let's try some Gamecube games. 4:3 ratio of this machine is ideal for them. Yes, I know we can use widescreen hacks for plenty games, but there is still something about playing them at original 4:3, at least for me. Burnout 2 was running at full speed. Metroid Prime as well as other first-party Nintendo games. Super Mario Sunshine, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, Twilight Princess. I didn't do any tweaks, it was all running at 1x of original resolution, so no upscaling and no tweaks, no hacks. So it is pretty much plug and play as long as you provide the ROMs. You can buy this machine even with micro SD card filled with games, but it's more expensive and you're still not gonna get games that you want. So in case you're interested, I would recommend getting it without it. All the basic emulators are still installed, you just need to select a path to your ROMs folder. Gamecube, PS2, 3DS and all the older systems are available. Something newer like Switch or Vita, you need to install it manually. For now, let's carry on with Gamecube. What about something harder? Automodelista. That is like the most demanding Gamecube game, and it wasn't running at full speed. It was kinda playable, but it was often slowing down. Metroid Prime 2 was also not running at full speed. Overall, Gamecube emulation was pretty solid. Let's try some Wii emulation. Wii emulation is in general more demanding than Gamecube. Some games that I've tried were running kinda okay. Mario Kart, Deblop 2, Mad World, Sin and Punishment. Then others were running a bit slower, like Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 or New Super Mario Bros. PS2 is another 4x3 system that this handheld is perfect for. I've tried multiple games like God of War 1 and 2, Need for Speed Underground 1 and 2, Black, Manhunt, Incredible Hulk, Ultimate Spider-Man, and all of them were running relatively stable. I could see some frame drop here and there, but they were really enjoyable. Then there are harder games to emulate like Shadow of Colossus. That one is the hardest, I would say. They were not running at full speed, there were a lot of slowdowns. This exact chip Anbernic also put inside RG556, RGCube and RG406V for vertical. It is Unisoc T820. I have done few videos already as well as full PS2 showcase on my second channel, feel free to check it out. Overall, I believe about 90% of the whole PS2 library is playable without any tweaks in native resolution. More games are playable with some tweaks, and some games are just not gonna be playable. I think this machine is solid for PS2 emulation, if you really wanna play them in 4x3 ratio. Ergonomics are great, even for my larger hands. Off-axis joysticks feel nice. Triggers are usable, you see me playing the games, I was not as bad. I just don't understand why they haven't put AMOLED screen inside, like into RG556. Maybe it's because of the not so traditional ratio and there might be some issues like with Retroid Pocket Mini, who knows. I would also love to try out Retroid Pocket Mini as well to see how bad it really is. D-pad is also very solid. I was trying it with PS Vita emulator, Vita 3K and Street Fighter X Tekken. I was able to pull off these tricky moves 9 times out of 10, even with my lower skill. I feel if you are into D-pads, you're definitely not gonna be disappointed with this one. And if you are into good games, I'm sure you're not gonna be disappointed with Vita emulation. Wipeout 2048 was running at full speed. Drive Girls as well as Dragon Crown. This is like a PS3 Vita port and it was running at full speed. I'm also aware there is a new PS3 emulator for Android. I haven't tried it myself. What about you? Have you tried it? You like it? This machine is not using Snapdragon chip, therefore you cannot use custom GPU drivers, which would increase the game's compatibility by a lot. For now, many games are still not supported. In spite of that, I think Vita Android emulators is definitely worth installing. The process is very simple and rewards are real. It's not definitely gonna replace our Vitas, but I mean, if you are going somewhere and you wanna have PS2 portable, this device will do a great job. And on top of PS2 you can easily have PS Vita and even 3DS. This emulator came pre-installed on the device, and there are also quite high percentage of whole 3DS library fully playable. I've tried the Zelda game, that one was running at full speed, and previously I also tried Resident Evil Revelation. It was also playable with minimal stutters. The 3DS dual screen layout is not bad for 4:3 ratio screen. Here are even these, borders. So there are no black bars around the screen, but it resembles 3DS from the inside. I was having two screens displayed underneath each other, or you can also switch it to single large screen and turn off second screen. Whatever your preferences are. If you are into more dedicated handheld feel, you can press this Anbernic button and it brings up different interface that feels more gaming orientated. Each system is displayed in different category. You can open it and pick a game and play. If you press it again, you're going back to your classical Android interface. I prefer that one. I don't need any fancy box arts. All I need is solid performance, which this device can kinda offer. For example, even some Switch games are gonna be playable. I've been using Yuzu and I went down to 0.75x of native resolution, and easier games like Celeste or New Prince of Persia Lost Crown were playable. I'm also always trying Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, and it was also kinda playable, not stable frame rate, but I would be able to play it like this. But this again brings me back to 16:9 versus 4:3 ratio. Vita, Switch or PSP are 16:9, so they are not exactly perfect for this device, even though it can run it. They are much better enjoyed on Retroid Pocket 4 Plus. This device is great in my opinion. Only problem for my large hands is that for comfortable session I would need grip, in case I wanna play something with dual joysticks. Joysticks on Retroid Pocket are symmetrical, and I had to shift my grip slightly down. My hand was left in a weird position, so ideally I would need grip for a proper session. Native Android games are also great use case scenario for 4:3 screen. Plenty official games like GTA support it, or even unofficially ported games like Portal or Half-Life 2. They cover the full screen, they are not stretched, and they are absolutely enjoyable. So let's sum it up. RG406H, biggest pro is the 4:3 screen and solid overall ergonomics. My only nitpick is the non-AMOLED screen, but LCD that they have used is still decent. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying it would be perfect with AMOLED. The price on the Mac DIY website is $220 minus 26 discount, which makes it $194, shipping and taxes are included. Retroid Pocket 4 Pro has also non-AMOLED 16:9 screen, but it is more powerful and more expensive. Again, on Mac DIY website it goes for $310 minus 37 discount equals to $273. This price is a bit higher than from official Retroid or Anbernic websites. So if you want to get it for the lowest price, you can Google some alternative links. I'm including Mac DIY link because it was provided by them. Then you might be also considering RG Cube, 556 or 406 vertical. Cube has screen square, Cube has square screen, vertical has 16:9 4-inch screen with a Game Boy vertical layout. And 556 is horizontal with 5.5-inch screen, 16:9 ratio. Out of all of these Anbernics, I would definitely go for horizontal 406, cause it is best for my gaming needs. Playing it with widescreen hacks is okay, but the OG ratio is always gonna be OG. But if I should choose horizontal 406 or Retroid Pocket 4 Pro, I think I would rather pay a bit more and have a lot more power. If you would use this thinking technique, you can carry on and pay a bit more and get Retroid Pocket 5 which is again a bit more expensive, a bit larger, a bit more powerful, or you can even get Odin 2 or Odin 2 Mini, which are again more powerful and more expensive. Then you can still get Steam Deck, but clearly that one is huge and the battery life is not so great. It all has its downsides and benefits, so it's only up to you what you're after. But I think this discussion is for another kind of video. Which Android handheld are you using for your Gamecube and PS2 needs? Let me know down below. I would like to send a huge thanks to all of my Patreons and supporters for their continuous support. It surely drives me forward, so thumbs up for that. Thanks to you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, show it some love. Comment, like, subscribe, join. I'll see you in the next one. Peace!